Yes, 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 just like that. We are here. Even though it's a two-man show, but we here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition to a very special Monday of hashtag Fade to Black. I'm your host, Donnell Monte Morris, here with Beast Johnson. Beast Johnson, how you doing, dog?
Tired but ever vigilant.
That's good. That's good. Man, this is happy late Father's Day to all the fathers out there. We forgot to say that on Friday. We apologize. We were so caught up with Juneteenth that we forgot that Father's Day was this Sunday. So once again, to all the fathers, including my father, thank you, and happy Father's Day to each and every one.
Let's be real too. To all the fathers, stepfathers, uncle fathers, play fathers, legal and illegal fathers, and all the zaddies out there. You gotta show love to the zaddies. You females know who I'm talking about. Y'all call him daddy enough. Give him his praise today too.
And with that, y'all know what we do. First of all, we got a shout out sponsor, which is Sky Zone Society. Thank you, Sky Zone, for sponsoring half of this show. So we also do our opening statements, which I'm gonna have Beast, please have a long opening statement because I'm trying to share this out to Twitter. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, behind the scenes, I'll be doing a lot of stuff.
Well, I'm gonna need you to go first. Let me answer this call real quick, and I'm gonna need you to go.
Well, guess what? I'm first. And ladies and gentlemen, just like that, a lot of things happen. But you know, we're here, we're doing this. So my opening statement is about feelings. Yeah, about feelings. For anybody who was wondering, Elementary in the morning, I did do a show today for other unknown situations, but so I was thinking of another topic, but I'm gonna save that for tomorrow morning. So about feelings, a lot of us men, mainly us black men, we don't like to show our feelings. We always show to be tough. You're the provider, you're the warrior. If anything bad happens or any intruder try to come in the house, we are the first line of defense. We should be the first and the last line of defense. There should not be no time where the woman is the last in defense, because her job, not insinuating anything, ladies, your job is to protect the kids. The man protects the house and everything in it, which includes you and the kids. My thing is this: when it comes to feelings, you know, this country, there's a lot of people want to say society has become sensitive, and that men were men back in the day, and they need to be more like that. At one time, I believed that, but then I had to think about it. Majority of those men back in the day got abused, beat up. Some of them had to be men of the household prematurely before that age of them growing into a man. Which unfortunately went from generation to generations to now. Like I remember when I think Gillette came up with a commercial where there was two kids fighting and the man actually stopped the kids from fighting. And many people, mainly men, came at that commercial saying, "Oh, that's soft. Let boys be boys." And I had to sit back and I was like, why y'all get so sensitive? Maybe it's not the world that is sensitive. Maybe it's the people that are complaining about this that are sensitive. It's like it's a cheat code that y'all only thought y'all knew, but not everybody knows about. and everybody's using it. Now all of a sudden you call them father. It's like if we figured out how the rich keep getting away from not paying taxes, and then us regular folk use that same tactic, use that same loophole not to pay no more taxes, they will be doing the same exact thing. I don't believe that this country is getting sensitive, or society is getting sensitive. Things are getting called out. Because just because you've been doing it for hundreds, thousands of years, does not always make it right. It's like me saying that Coca-Cola is the best soda in the world. But other people are saying, oh no, Pepsi. RC, we drink RC. Ugh. I mean, you got the famous drink out here, Jones. Other drinks. But now that people started to drink those, now all of us Coke fans like, no, that's wrong. That's wrong. No. You have other people that created their own different products, different from Coca-Cola, that now put their hand in the fight. Meaning, just because Coca-Cola at one time was the only soft drink at one time, does not mean that they are the best. So fathers, and then, like I said, it's funny that Father's Day just passed. I want to talk to the fathers that just think of just making their kids tough and don't show, and tell them don't show no emotions and all that stuff. You are not doing your son a service. Because if I was your son, because I think not the short game, but the long game. Because if you treated me with no love, you was not there to embrace me when I ran my first touchdown, hit my first home run, or even when we lost and I felt the worst, and you didn't come over there and at least held me close and say, son, it's going to be okay. But you just say, son, you sucked. Or don't even acknowledge me at all. Or every time I do something wrong, you want to fight me. If I was your son, I would never let you visit and come see my grandkids, or send my kids to come see grandpa. And I guess I'm not just talking to the flight. I'm also talking to the sons that dealt with stuff like that. When you are finally out the house, when you are able to pay your own bills, start your own business, start your own life, have your own kids, don't be like them. And you're not indebted to them no more. Because you remember that thing that your parents always tell you, as long as you pay the bills, you can say whatever you want, do whatever you want in this house. But until then, shut up. Now that you pay your own bills in your own house, you're just a father by name. And a lot of these parents want to sit there and say, well, you know what, just, you know, I raised you into who you became. You should be thanking me. No, I should not be thanking you, because even after you raised me the way that you did, I had to process that shit. I had to sit back in my teenage year when I was at that age where I'm understanding what you did to me, what you was teaching me, all the repercussions I got from me. I had to process that. I had to make a mental note of that, of what not to do when I have my kid. Or the things that you did, I'm going to do that to raise and teach my kids. Or definitely if I have a son. They're not indebted to you. And sons, you're not indebted to your father neither. Don't sit here and look at all these damn Tyler Perry movies. It's funny. I watched Black Lightning, and they got that kind of dynamic too, where the freaking parents, majority of these black shows, definitely when the kids are grown up and moved out the house, like they got to go to the family reunion because you're family. Definitely if you had like a rough history with your folks because of your mama and your daddy. I do believe in cutting off family because it's not a one-way street. And I realize it's even 10 times worse when you're gone. Because it'd be the same ones that beat you down, always got in trouble. You was the one that always got in trouble. But now that y'all grown up, you got everything going good and everything going on, now all of a sudden everybody depending on you now. I'm going too much off the track, so let's get back to the fathers and the sons. To all the fathers out there, I believe in teaching your son tough. But what happened if your son have daughters? Then what? You gonna teach your daughter how to be tough? Get up, beat on her? Think about that. These are things you have to think about. Because when your son says, this is what you've done to me, you can't sit there and say, well, you know, it's not my fault. It is your fault. And it's not your son's fault either. And I know it's going to get controversial, what I'm about to say, but I'm going to say it. It is not controversial neither. Hold on, take that back. It's going to be controversial. So I'm going to say this. You're really going to know how your son feels about you with all the pain that you put him through when, number one, you're not seeing your grandbabies, and number two, when you're on your deathbed, they don't show up. Because like they say, people always try to make their peace before they go because they realize all the wrongdoing that they did. Rather than doing it a long, long time ago and saying, I'm sorry, son. I only try to raise you like my dad raised me, but I didn't break that trend on how he did me when I know that was wrong. I'm sorry. To do that right now, when you're standing on your own 2 feet, when you're retired, where you still got some sense and you still got those marbles still rolling around your brain, that's when you should say you're sorry. Your son don't have to come see you or even at your deathbed. Because all the trauma that you put him through, he don't need to come to you. Because you know that he raised his kids a lot better. And teach kids that it's okay to show emotion. Because if we did not have no emotions, ladies and gentlemen, we all be dead. Football, yeah. Passion, where did passion come from? Emotion. When you're happy, sad, emotion. When you make that face, comes from emotion. So it's not this country that is getting sensitive. Maybe it's the people and the fathers out there, including the mothers. Everybody in general that's complaining, maybe it's just you that's being sensitive. And with that, I yield the floor.
Since we're speaking on families, allow me to slide in with what he's speaking on as well. For those children and those parents that feel like, do as I say, not as I do, be very mindful of what you tell a child. Because children are like elephants. They have great memories. And it's only those special adults, and by special, I usually mean psychologically scarred, have that type of memory to truly remember their childhood. You talk about what happens when you got parents that act like they don't love you or act as though how I treat you negates the fact that I love you because you're alive and I take care of you. Yeah, that's all bullshit when you get older. Like when you see, like, for example, you tell a 10-year-old boy who just lost his father that he now has to be a man, and the only viable examples he truly had at that moment were his father, who is now dead, an uncle who is incarcerated, a grandfather who died, an unbeknownst uncle, and whatever random male ragamuffins are led through the neighborhood and church. Can you honestly be surprised that that young boy can grow to a man who has an additional 20 years of perceived experience? If you ain't figured out who I'm talking about me. So I'm currently 37, but most people don't believe that. They say I'm at least 10 to 15 years older than what I really am because I was forced to grow up early. So I never had an actual childhood. Add trauma on top of that, you got a really fucked up individual. Had a mother that didn't really want you, so didn't really know what to do with you. The same mother who fell ill, the same child she did not want, the same child she never acknowledged true love for, was the actual child that took care of her for the final years, up until her very last moments. The child that she, in so many words, disowned, because upon her death, people will marvel at the fact that she not only had a second child, but that she had a son who was the oldest. They had only seen my sister. She had only spoke with my sister. So most people didn't even know I fucking existed as far as she was concerned. Yet and still, I made sure she knew. Regardless of how you feel about me, I love you for the simple fact you're my mother. You carried me to term and you helped create me. I respect the fact that in spite of the fact you did not love me, you still raised me, even after my father died. You still kept me around. I give you that respect. So I'll do what's necessary to make sure you're good. My sister, on the other hand, the same one who had a child, did not tell anyone until she was 5 months, then abandoned the child for a year after the child was born, and didn't really come back until the child was gone 3, and then told her mother, said grandmother, that I don't want the child, I don't want to live with you, and if y'all move, I'm moving somewhere else, and you can keep my son. This is the one she praised. This is the one she put all that effort in, actual parenting, motherly love into. I feel like that killed her more than anything else. Because the look on a parent's face to know that they backed the wrong child, to know that they praised their children in such an unequal fashion, that the child you personally perceived as better completely fumbled and dropped the ball and got you out here looking like the biggest boo-boo of fools. Meanwhile, the child you didn't want and the child you think little to anything of is the child that kept your ass financially afloat, kept a stable home for not only you, but for your grandson, and made sure that all outwardly entities that were not beneficial to the home kept their ass out. You can hustle my mama and sister at their job, but I'll be damned to bring that shit across the threshold of her door. Not while I'm here. You can leave peacefully, you can leave in pieces. Makes me know never. See, that's how I was raised, to honor my mother and father, to acknowledge and give respect for the act of my creation, as well as honoring the actual lessons and teachings that were passed on, to always do right by the family. even at an expense to yourself when necessary. But always remember, never let family take over, control, or destroy your own life. Never love anybody more than you love yourself. This is what real men look like, and this is how real men sound when we actually open up our mouths and explain to you why we are the quote unquote real men, or as y'all see it, the toxically masculine, evil, emotionally opposed individuals. No, we're compartmentalizing. We deal with PTSD like the average soldier. Because to be a man, you have to go out here and bleed and hurt and know what pains. You have to experience every evil there is on this earth for the sole purpose of making sure your family, your wife, your children never even know the existence. They can ask forever why you got that big old scar on your back. And it could be to their grandparents themselves before they realize that scar came from a big ass saber-toothed tiger that was hidden in the woods of where y'all stayed at. Your daddy went out there and fought him, kept his ass at bay. That's why your daddy was always outside at night. That's why your daddy was always tired. He's making sure y'all live through another day. But they don't speak of the sacrifices of a father or a real man. So you know that's neither here. The point of this rant is to be mindful of the energies and comments that you put into a child. Do your just. Do not spare the rod, but do not spoil their child. They need to know of both the evil and the good, the love and the hate, the joy and the pain that balances out life. If you stand to give them any chance of surviving life once you're gone or once they're adults. That being said, I yield the floor, and let's see what we can make out of the rest of this podcast.
You know what? I keep forgetting to use the main story caption, so thank goodness I had it on my mind to like go ahead and do it. But let's jump it, Beast, on your organization, which I'm gonna have strolling at the bottom just a little bit right here. So, you as an independent artist in Greensboro, North Carolina, you kind of talked about it because, now correct me if I'm wrong, you had a lot of industry people, folks, that is coming in on the territory and basically saying, that it's come from me, basically saying that y'all can't do nothing without them. That there is not a movement going on before y'all even became a movement like it is now of independent stars and artists that can make beats, that has the vocal cords, that has the bars. And now y'all all coming together and being like, yo, we gonna do this. We got this. We don't need y'all. we doing good all by ourselves, and not to mentioning about the industry, they also outsiders are really spitting on what y'all got going in Greensboro. So this is not only just to the industry itself, it's also from outsiders outside the state as well. If I'm kind of getting that right, I'm trying to paraphrase as much as I can. So.
No, you're doing a good job on well. To clarify and just kind of take a little shine off me because I like to represent it correctly. So it is mine. This is my committee in the sense of I'm speaking on it as a solo representative and ambassador.
Right.
But basically, as he was saying, this was an effort put together by. It was initially started by actually my cousin. I found that out. We found out we were cousins as a result of this, but my cousin Liz Gregory and her partner Desi Faust, 7-1 Music Productions. They were the ones that kind of said, all right, well, we'll do what we need to do on our end as far as the A&R business side. Seeing that there's an actual amount of not only credible artists, but artists that already know each other, have a certain level of respect with each other. So it's easier for everyone to connect. So we started with them, going on Mr. Stevenson from Daddy Duty, Big Chris. He's an artist as well by the name of Fat Gangster. And yes, sir. But definitely, he, myself, artists such as Sunny Days, Prophet of the Street, we really just got together and like, if we're gonna do this, let's do it correctly. Let's get everybody that's willing and more than willing, able to do this, and then start off strong. Let's set up something that covers everybody. So let's set up a little independent showcase, and we will give the local artists that physical location to act as a beacon and a hub for other artists. You can come here. The atmosphere is welcome. No matter.
So,
go ahead.
I'm sorry, I didn't meant to interrupt you, but you know, when I had to interrupt, you know I had to do that introduction, right? You know I had to do that introduction, ladies and gentlemen. Money never sleeps. Bro man from the fifth floor.
I knew I heard something in my back window. I knew I heard something coming out my back window.
But see, you was hearing some other back window. I'm here, ching, ching, ching. Counting the money, ladies and gentlemen. Without further ado, Mr. Bro man from the fifth floor. Money never sleeps. Mayo.
Oh man, I love y'all, man. I tell you.
Look here. All I know is this. Mayo, I need you to be my man from Ray Charles, not my hype man. I need you to be my introduction.
Oh, you kill me.
You are. Look, come on now, people. Pause for the cause. Let's just take a moment to really analyze this individual. Mayo. Money make me move. I never sleep.
Yes.
AKA Mr. Kevin. On guitar.
Yeah, I love it. Hey man.
So how you doing?
Before he even opened his mouth, you and your subconscious brain already know this nigga about to sound smooth as shit with whatever the fuck he got to say.
Yes. Because look, since we talking about committees, I know he's gonna have a lot of questions about your organization. So going on there. First of all, how you doing, Mayo? How's everything with you?
That's what's up. Pretty well, brothers. Just moving along, man, making a whole lot happen. I was there last week when I turned 40 on the 10th. And since then, I've been able to join y'all, and I just been celebrated that week, and I since then just pushing along, trying to make more money, trying to take care of the community, and trying to make a lot happen.
That's good. Cool. So speaking of community, because you know you got your own super PAC and organizations and communities that you work with within your community. So you probably gonna have a lot of questions for Beast's committee that he started for independent artists and up and coming.
I love it.
So
all I gotta say is this: networking, committee to committee networking. Every good lobbyist, every good politician, every good fundraiser needs urban relations and good music.
True.
That's
Very
true.
smart.
That's true.
Very smart.
So
especially when done from a local perspective.
That's true. So my question just Beast, because we kind of had our little talks even after, not even on the show. So what was the final straw for y'all to just be like, we sick and tired of getting disrespected? Was it more of the outsiders, or was it more mixture of both?
It was a combination of both. It's an inside industry person in the sense of, anybody remembers Terrence J from BET?
Yes.
And the Tyler Perry movies on.
He's the one that was there with Free.
Mm-hmm.
When Free was there.
He was
I think it was
replacement.
after. Yeah, he was replacement.
It was after. He was the replacements.
Yeah,
okay.
that's when 106 in Park. Yeah, that's when 106 in Park was getting wore down. He also called out that one girl because she was getting more shine. Okay, yeah, not trying to get too much.
He's an example of the individual I'm speaking of. Homegrown. While he was here, he was accepted and embraced by the state and by the locals. They embraced what he was doing. We actually helped that nigga get up there to 106. So it was a big thing. You were Aggie, you part of the local radio scene. Folk actually fuck with you. You may come off cornballers, but folk genuinely fuck with you. Real niggas fuck with you. So they support him. They got his ass up there. They got him on the show. But as he came back, let that industry mindset take over. And the wisest thing you could never forget your past.
Yeah.
Because you'll never be able to truly perceive your present in order to truly see your future. You forgot where the fuck you came from. How the hell you gonna know where you're going? Because you're gonna fuck around and go in a big ass circle and end up right back where you started and not even realize. So never forget where you came from. He did. The straw was this individual charging $50 an hour for a Zoom meeting for industry information on how to get radio placement. Now, this individual actually works at the local radio station, but made no even attempts to associate this Zoom meeting and this radio placement information with his actual radio station.
That's so he was basically doing it at the table.
It was some under table hustle shit. This is the example of Donnell charging folk on how to get on with the network, or how to set up the network scene, or do that content creation to the level that we're doing, without at least offering an olive branch of, you have an opportunity to present your stuff to us.
Yeah.
That's more of a good favor act. You ain't got to necessarily listen to it. We know most of y'all not going to listen to it. But to at least convey that is more respectful. So you already started off bad. Then when people called you out on it, respectfully they called you out on it. You in turn got slick mouth and said, well, maybe y'all music ain't good. No, just that's why. That's why we not going to fuck with y'all, because y'all Go ahead.
So let me jump on in real quick. So you telling me that this guy that works for your local radio charged for a Zoom call to get this industry insider tips and all that stuff? He charged?
No. we could deal with that. In the music industry, a certain level of information must be paid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Must be. It's
yeah,
not.
I get that.
It's not an actual payola deal, but it's a matter of quantity of quality. Always, the quantity of the money that I'm investing, I should get above average quality for that amount. I'm not expecting double my value, but I'm expecting at least 25%. If I'm putting in 50, I want 75 worth of information.
That's true. Maybe I'm cut from a different cloth because, like a lot of I'm gonna use E40 for example. How much people don't mainly talk about how E40 gives back to its community in the Bay. They don't even say nothing. Let me see. Teach, write, us knowledge is give you the power to charge, which is right, which is true. For
true, and that's the point I was saying with.
I was also a little bit about that, but go ahead.
Yeah, that's the point I was making with. There is a certain level of information that you will have to pay. That's respectful, but it's always a give and take situation.
Right, because
this information should be able to at least lead me to the local infrastructure. Yeah,
because what you're saying, E40 first came to mind. He gives back to the community. He got his own tequila company. I think he got his own food company. This dude hustles all over.
Got wine now.
I remember, and one of his songs, he went to an industry fellow, and he was like, "Look, you don't have to pay us. We just want to get on, and eventually the money will come." And it happened. And which also brings me to a mentor of mine. A long time ago, I lost contact with him. I want to get his contacts back. I actually found his business card. I'm going too far off the tracks. But he told me, he said, I'm going to give you a little bit of this information because you already do it. Because I was podcasting for the first time ever. He's already making millions of it. By looking at him, you wouldn't even tell. But he said, I'm just going to give you a little bit of the information. Everything else, I would have charged you. I could easily charge you an arm. I could easily charge you an arm and leg. But since you already doing it, you already, all the basics. Because he was asking me questions, and I knew he was testing me. Because you got some people that just want somebody who's already been there and done it to do all the work for them. And
that's why you testing.
Right, and but see, even with that, me and him had a close relationship. To where I'm talking to him more about his business, and it's not about look how you do this, how you do that, how you do this, how you do that. You get more information if you just be like, "Hey, how's business?" If you just talk to him just straight, just like that, you gonna get all the answers you need, all the answers you want. So, hearing from your committee, it's along that line. It's in that lane of like hey, look, we can give you a little bit. What's that Bible verse? Somebody help me out. For anybody who's watching right now, that Bible verse where they said, you teach a man to fish, he will,
I know the old parable. Teach a man to fish, he'll eat for a day. Give a man the fish, he'll eat for a day. But to teach a man to fish,
teach a man to fish
for a
lifetime. And I believe in that. I wholeheartedly believe in that, that passage. And what y'all doing, just hearing that is just like, oh snap, like damn, he said to be back to my mentors and all that stuff. So why do you think dudes that are part of the industry try to put one over on you? Because that's where the 360 deals come in, the payola comes into play. Why do they just do that to like artists?
I use drugs for I use druggery for a good example. I was working at my local coliseum during a fair, doing my little sanitation.
Greensboro Coliseum. I remember Greensboro Coliseum. Yeah, I remember that.
And struck up a conversation with one Carney's there. No cat passing. He was along my little path, so every time came through, we ended up speaking. So we got around time for my break, and he kind of pulled me to the side, and this is where the kind of stereotypical racism comes in. Black guy with dreads. You already know what he asked me for. But the conversation was like, yeah, man, you know why get me like, you know, I get me some. So I'm always gonna test you. So I'm asking you, you know, what you trying to spend? What you trying to get? Like talk to me. If you talk something crazy, I already know you the people.
Right.
So he was like, you know, I'm just trying to get like a little eighth. And he was like, man, you think he'll let me get it for less than 70? Less than 70. My inner ears perked up. Less than 70. He was like, yeah, man, I just left Louisiana, man. Last bag I got was in Louisiana. I paid 65 for that. So you think your man can do something better than that, you know, a little lower than that? My man's was doing the ace for 35. That's 3.5 to 4 grams of product, $35. This man was paying for the same amount, all damn near double the amount. And he was complaining about the quality of it. So he paid double the amount.
Worse.
Exactly.
Yeah.
On the hustle tip, you look at him like, shit, I can get this motherfucker for an easy 50. My man's due for 35, but he'll let me get it for 25. So shit, I can go ahead and get like an easy 20, 25 in my pocket. Hey, hold on. Hey, my nigga. Hey. You good, right? Hey, I need you to meet me on this street in like 25 minutes. 25 minutes, I'm going on break. I'm headed toward this side street. I need you to bring this amount. I'm gonna add 50 for you. He got 65 on. He was like, playmate. You see this type of shit when you get into the industry where people are easily and naively hustled. And a lot of folk go in there with that pompous form of intelligence. So they get easily hustled. Mm-hmm. They giving you $75,000 for something that you didn't even put in 15 minutes worth of work into. And then the average industry cost of it would have really been maybe 5 stacks. But you just finessed them for a $70,000 profit. But you come back home and you try to do the same shit. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. Like you come because he thinking like this. If I could do a Zoom meeting in one of the major markets and get an easy 300 to 500 per head, I go back home. I know these local niggas ain't got bread like that. I could get at least a good 50 off of. Yeah, they're gonna jump at it because I'm on the radio. B, I've been on TV. C, I've been on TV on a show that niggas actually like and support. I've been on Wild 'N Out. I know I can get at least a good 50 head off these niggas.
Just hearing this, I'm gonna give the floor to Mayo if you have any questions. But just hearing this, and I'm not in the music industry like that, so I had to shift my focus as like a podcaster, you know, because YouTube has like events where they have all the creators come in, but you have to have a certain amount of like subscribers to go. But let's say we have numbers like that, and I get invited, and I go out there, and I'm not bringing that knowledge back to people here, you know, that's doing it and all that stuff. Like, hey, boys, you know, I watched your show, you know.
Okay, you know what? I got a better example for you, and this is real. I don't know if you remember, it was a YouTube content creators by the name of the Fine Brothers. They were known for doing, remember that whole debacle? They were known for doing reaction videos. So they got the bright idea, because they were the number one people known in the world, and they were at this point synonymous. And to be synonymous just means to be immediately perceived number one. Pretty much you're the first one off the top of the head.
Mm-hmm.
When you think of fast food chains, Burger King, McDonald's, synonymous. They're the first ones, some of the first ones gonna fly at your mouth.
Right.
So once they got to that point, they was like, well, shit, let's just charge people to do the same thing they've been doing, but we're gonna brand and copyright the term reaction and the process of reaction videos. So anybody else that does it after, we can sue them, or they can just come in under our fold and pay us. Either way, we get money.
Basically cornered the market.
Mm-hmm. That's what they're trying to do. Didn't work when they came to people like, hey, we got a website. You pay us to brand out the reaction videos you're already doing. Really?
Yeah, I mean, that stuff like this. Chiming in, it's opportunity. If you look at it one way, and another way,
exactly.
It's kind of like, you got hope, depending on who he's going at. Morally, you want to be like, like if he's going at some young kids, you're supposed to be a mentor, you're supposed to, but if he's going at grown folks and they charging them, the only thing I think is kind of weird, I'm pretty much just fine if he's going to go at grown folks. One thing I think is kind of a little weird is that, he got to watch out for his job, if he's doing that, knowing that pretty much he's doing behind the scenes of his job. It's like, me selling, me being
and it does sound like that.
Market gas somewhere else, you better be careful. You get caught, they probably ain't gonna be cool with it, So
which is exactly why the point where he's like, yeah, I charge y'all $50 for this Zoom meeting, but I ain't helping you get nothing submitted to the station I work at. It's like, well, what's the point? Because I guarantee outside, the only information people really need in regards to those type of things is budget and contact titles. If there's a interchangeable name, like I need to talk to the head programming director, I need to talk to the CFO, or whatever their corporate title is. Those are the things that need to be and is actually wanted to be known. Because all the other stuff you can Google. You can YouTube. Yeah. They still have books in libraries. You can read it. So what are you really charging? What service are you really giving for information that is almost easily, attainable within a good 30-minute span or an hour, depending on if you're on your phone or not. But, good 30 minutes to an hour internet search, you can get the bulk of that information your damn self. You just need to know how much I need to pay these people. Yeah, exactly. How much do I need to pay you for X amount of spins or X amount of time of rotation? And who do I need to contact to make this inquiry? That's all we need to know. If you can't give us that information, what are you really charging?
Right. And then also, Beast, first before I go on my point, I'm gonna get this off my chest too. We at the top of the hour. Sky Zone Society is sponsored the no commercial on this top of the hour. The next top of the hour we will do a commercial, but thanks to Sky Zone Society, we will continue on with this discussion. No commercial break. So, the point that I was trying to make about what you just said. I mean, I'm still stuck on the part of you're coming from the industry. You came from, and in the words of Mayo with politics, you came from the grassroots level, where you were known, humble beginnings. You were a local, renowned, known DJ. People, let's say you got named yourself locally.
DJ elicits some form of technical skill, aka button clicking it. No, you were a renowned disc jockey. Let's use the words for what they are. You're not a DJ, you are a disc jockey. But that's what radio DJs are.
And so even with that, let's say they have like fundraisers and fund drives in their local community and they gave back. Now they get called up, not just to the city of Charlotte or the city of Greensboro, but you get called up to like a big market like New York, maybe even LA, or Atlanta is its own little entity. Atlanta is I take that back. I don't think Atlanta's hot, but it's not hot. Maybe Miami. We talk about some major markets: LA, New York, and Miami. Those are three big markets. For anybody who think their market's big, I apologize, but those are three ones that I'm tracking. And you get called from them. For me, I will always want to give back. Even though I'm here in Washington, I will want to find ways to give back home, to let them know I didn't forget about you. Or even here for that one person that's been trying to do a podcast, don't know where to start. Hey man, here's some advice. I will host a show to show you what I'm doing. The equipment, sites you need, platforms you need to go to get you pushed out there, strategies and all that stuff. And should I charge at a certain point? I would say yeah. But like for my immediate circle, people that I know or people that have
supported me when I didn't have supported the beginning. Hell no.
That and then also if they have skin in the game. I don't know why I keep getting tongue-tied my words, but had skin in the game. That you know what you're doing. When I sit there, I tell you need to get a mic like this, you would know what I'm talking about. You need to get a mic like that so that you can get your words and what you say is crystal clear rather than just using the mic here on your freaking laptop. Better camera. I mean, so much goes into it. If you got skin in the game, only thing you need to know is what platforms I need to go on, what equipment I need. But from everybody else who started from the ground level and just heard about it and just want to get into it, yeah, you get a little bit. You get a little bit. Everything else you got to pay for. But I'm not gonna charge you a freaking arm or a leg. You know what I mean? Like you got some people that are generous, maybe a little bit too generous, but if they're making money on their own company, it's nothing to them. You got people charging probably $10, $15. You go on YouTube, they will give you one quick little strategy. That's it.
Yep.
And then they will have their site. But if you want to know more, my link is on the description below or in the bio, and I will show you more.
Click the link. Like and subscribe.
Right. And that's also a great hustle for the content creator himself too.
That's a good question, T. That's a good question. The newcomer, the responsibility of newcomers for their due diligence.
Yeah, see, that's the point that I was getting to, like for my immediate circle and for people that's already got their skin in the game. Yeah, you need this, you need that, you need this, you need that. Now for the people who just, they crawling, they're not even crawling yet. They don't even know where to start. Those the ones you just give them a taste, and everything else you gotta pay for it, dog. You gotta pay. But go ahead, Beast. I ain't want to stop you. I'm saying it from a podcast live streaming aspect.
No, because what you're saying is true. But as far with the T's question,
yeah.
There's a lot of due diligence required upon newcomers. Unfortunately, with newcomers, a lot of that due diligence has to get imposed by the veterans in the journey. Individuals like myself who, in truth, honestly, you have to be humble when it comes to newcomers. You have to be humble with that passionate respect. Yeah, I feel highly about my craft, but I'm still ignorant to this whole thing. So any bit of information, regardless of how I personally feel about it, take it in. Because when you see more like the veterans and the journeymen, when they see that energy come from the newcomers, and when the newcomer presents that type of aura about themselves, they're able to freely get that type of information and really be put on the proper path without having to financially invest as much as more than they should. Because that's what happens to a lot of newcomers. They have the due diligence. They just not have no real sense of direction on how to really go about it. So they go to what's known or what's seemingly readily available. And those areas are kind of like bus stops in Cali. They're hunting grounds. And if you don't have your business acumen about you, you will definitely get snatched up.
Yeah. I mean, you don't want to put yourself in an environment where you actually know. Well, the worst thing is pretending that you know, and somebody eventually going to test your gangster. Yeah, I mean, definitely.
Well, you're just gonna be put. It ain't about testing your gangster. You're gonna be put in a situation, or you're gonna be put in a situation or a setup that whatever information you claim you supposedly know should have kicked in by now to alert you that this situation and setup is not conducive for you. Like people, they'll let you put a song out there since you say you know about copyrights and all this and da da da. Okay.
Yeah,
They'll purposely give you a song with a sample that ain't covered. Tell you what's a sample though, because you claim you know what to do when it comes to samples and all this other mess. So they give you something, just enough information for you to claim that you know, but they know you ain't gonna do your due diligence. Yeah. So now, when they come messing with them, they suing you, not the producer.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
I still think there's a minimum that if you are at the top of your craft, that you owe the newcomers or the successors. And as a successor, that's where I think we've lost the respect in our community, where the youngins, like they come in and they don't pay no homage to the folks who've been there before them. They think they can just get it and just walk away with it, So sometimes if somebody who's an old head is charging, I don't blame them. It's just that we have that break and that divide in our community. Everybody got to find a way to feed their family at the end of the day. So I can't blame anybody for charging. But what I just don't like is that the lack of I'm gonna get you on, and everything else you're gonna have to pay for. Or if I get you on, you better look out for me. Make sure that we respect who got you on, and kind of like if I ever get in something, I know I got the youngest behind me coming in. So that should be natural. It's kind of sad because I think probably the gang community probably take heed to that more than anything else. Gang and the politicians. Those are my two people that I know that do that. They find ways to respect each other and kind of keep their stuff going. But when it comes to everybody else in the community, it's not like that at all. At least from my point of view.
Well, I agree because it goes back to that whole black folk got this mentality, quantity over quality, which is what am I getting for? Mm-hmm. So, like when you two use the example of like giving back, this is an outside entity too. The gentleman by the name of Jess Jones, I got linked up with a couple years ago through Twitter. One of his people that heard my music, and they reached out to me. He reached out to me, and he basically sets up a network tour. And what he does is he goes out and he reaches out to different areas and the local talent there, gives them a venue to go out there and show what they can do. He uses it as a litmus test to see if they have already good fan base. They're coming in with people. The amount of people they're coming in versus quality of music they have, because you got a lot of cats that got garbage music, but they come in 30 deep. And you got that one person that ain't come in with nobody, and they rock the whole fucking house, and everybody on that shit. So it's that balance, and what he really looks for at the end of the day is artists that can command the stage, make it their own, have that stage presence about them, but also have somewhat of a competent knowledge of business, or at least business minded. They know how to be professional when they hop off the stage. Yeah, I'm talking about getting high and smoking 500 blunts and slapping bitches on the butt as soon as I head off the stage. How you doing, sir? Peace, Johnson.
My question, my question is just, and it goes into politics, which I know Mayo is really going to have. I know he's probably doing his fingers like this right now, because I'm kind of doing it. So for the political, for the political part about it. So with Terrence J, if I said his name right.
Yes.
What, other than him charging for this Zoom call, what else is he doing to just stop progress for the independent star in your area? And I guarantee it's probably not just Greensboro per se. It's probably in Charlotte, probably in Concord.
No, because oddly enough, when you talk about the local scene, and I've had local artists with local R&B artists. The thing about Greensboro is independent, local. They're more prone. You got a lot more old school folk, nostalgic folk. So old school R&B, soulful neo soul. You actually got somewhat of a platform here. You got several venues that cater to live bands and live music. That type of music is perfect for live playing. So anybody that can master that, you got somewhere to go. Hip hop and everything else, not so much. In Greensboro, but you say places like Raleigh, Charlotte, Concord, they have a really thriving community. The community in the whole is very receptive to them. If your shit don't fly out there, it's definitely not gonna fly. I've personally seen them completely shun their own people, like their local artists. They was not hitting, and you know how black folk will let you know they ain't feeling you without having to actually boo you.
What?
Like I seen like 6 people go outside before he even got to his hook. So before he even finished 8 bars, 6 people that went outside to go smoke.
Wow.
4 niggas just hopped on their phones and they literally like 5 feet away from him. 3 girls just hopped on the phone and had full-blown conversations in front of him. Like giving him the look like, why are you trying to interact with me? Girl, I'm over here looking at this white nigga trying to perform. Yes. That's their type of scene. So if your shit ain't flying, your shit ain't flying. But we do have...
That's even worse.
There's definitely worse.
Yeah, that's worse. I mean, I'm like this. If I'd rather y'all boo me, I'd rather be at the Apollo so I know that y'all don't like me. But if y'all gonna be quiet and be on the phone, that's one of the worst feelings and one of the most. If you want your pride taken away from you, that be there with that scene.
half a song and left. Could you blame him? Like my heart went out to him. I was like, good God. I mean, I know I don't suck, but I'm a little fearful about hitting the stage. My heart went out to him for me. Like, ugh, I want to hug him.
Hey, for him or the song?
For him, like, because he had every bit of energy in this man's body. Shows you that he believes that shit. He believed it in the core of his soul. You couldn't tell him nothing. But Lord, they said a lot without saying nothing. And he figured like he got halfway through the song, cut it, just left the stage.
Yeah.
What else? It's either that or cuss them out and get shoved.
But see, the sad thing is, Beast, it goes back to what you were saying earlier. Like you would have, like a rapper would have an entourage, and they be garbage, and you just have that one person coming up in with nobody, and their stuff is legit. Mm-hmm. That type of rapper, and I'm not trying to sound racial or anything about it. I'm just saying because it could be anybody. Somebody like him. Yeah, somebody like him, if he had the look, had the charisma, had the work ethic, the industry dudes would jump on him.
No,
Tell me
it
if
used to
I'm
be
wrong.
that way. It used to be that way.
I got
things like
used to be
things like work ethic, ghostwriters, look, manufacture, talent, synthesize and enhance. I just need a motherfucker that can hold the pitch, have some good energy behind whatever delivery they believe in, and have a decent enough physical aesthetic to make the females happy. Because if the females is happy, then the down low niggas is gonna be happy, and the openly gay niggas is definitely gonna have a ball.
So we talk about not trying to have the Millie and Manili. If I said that right,
yeah, that's a good example. But what we're really talking is the pop process across the board. When it comes to hip hop, think pop.
That's true. I mean,
everybody,
Nicki Minaj.
No, even down to the little boys you got now. The new little boys are insurance policies. They're a throwback to the partiers of the 70s and 80s. The Elton Johns out here just getting high for just to say I did it. Mm-hmm. So they already got $250,000, $500,000 insurance policies on them. They already did an extra 3 albums worth of material. So when he eventually gets shot of ODs, I can still make some money off of him for the next 5 years. Maybe 10 if I stretch it right.
And to add on to that too, about the young age, goes back to what Mayo was saying, the ones that don't show no respect to all the hip hop artists back in the day. Talk about KS1, my boy Big Daddy Kane.
You gotta look at it. You gotta look at it like
even
this.
Kid Play.
When you sign, because like I was looking at Macklemore, I was looking at a video on him and what happened to him, and I was very surprised to find out why the fuck that damn album was jumping the way it was jumping. And a lot of folk was trying to give him the racial card, white boy hip hop, I was like, no, it was actually a contract deal. When he set up an independent contract deal with an independent division of a label, which was like, look, we'll give y'all a percentage of our royalties if you give us nationwide distribution when it comes to radio. So that's why everybody heard that song and you couldn't run from the album because it was in their contract.
Speaking of that, he's local here.
Yeah, that's why I spoke to him. That's why I spoke to him, and I just like I said, I just got through seeing. I was like, and that as an artist threw me off. I was like, I didn't even think you could do that. That's a hell of a gamble. I don't want to give you none of my royalties.
Shoot, he's like freaking like Vanilla Ice Baby. His jams is like that here. he's I won't say he's like God, but you know how you rep your locals, but now it's the city. That's all
he is. Like once in a while. He is this generation's Snow. Y'all remember Snow?
Yes.
Yeah, that's how he is up north. Like he's the hometown hero, the local god. That's Macklemore in Seattle, huh?
Right here, and then also you hear on another point, Beast, that we also need to talk about, address that contributes to your group. Now, hip hop is kind of like the gateway to pop. It's like I mean, just for example. So you got who we just talked about, Macklemore.
It's the new version. Everything
right.
everything's switching around now. After the late '90s, early 2000s, fusion era craze kind of showed that hey, you could really make money off. Y'all thought Run DMC and Aerosmith was just a one and done thing. Like no, they made a whole little sub industry of rappers and rock musicians coming together and making credible music. So when you could see that, you started doing it with other genres. Well, let's mix hip hop and pop together because you're already throwing in. You do a hip hop rendition or a hip hop remix to a pop track. That's how you get the real hood black girls to get on. Like, okay, I'll fucks with her. Taylor Swift with Nicki Minaj, that shit actually dumb.
Yeah, or who else recently? I'm gonna use Justin Timberlake because I found out late in the game that he was kind of, using the culture like R&B, then hip hop, and then he goes to country, and now he's back being pop because he had so much success jumping through all. Well, I don't think he had that much success in the country realm, but he had so much success.
No, that was a passion project.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. R&B and hip hop, he used those to be relevant again in the pop world. And people was like, you just like take it outside, just like with Miley Ray Cyrus. I already knew what Miley Ray Cyrus was going to do because she just needed that one when she was doing her music with who's that DJ?
She dropped a track with Juicy J. Y'all should. She dropped a whole song with Juicy J. Y'all should not be surprised at none of the stuff she did afterwards. Juicy J ain't been sober since 1970. You really surprised she did what she did?
Look, he ain't been sober since they won that Grammy. He said they still having parties after winning that Grammy for Hustle.
Oh no! He wasn't sober then. Juicy J is who I aspire to be because he's one of the few entrepreneurs, aside from him and Master P, that can actually say, nigga, I'm still spending 1999 money. I ain't had to cash a check in 20 years. Oh, I can't wait to get that rich. Oh, I mean, the foolishness I'm gonna be.
And people don't understand, they have created tracks for songs that they didn't even know that they created. That's why they always say they're the best known unknowns. And I'm like, hold up, best known unknowns. And my boy was like, man, listen. He said, I guarantee you heard this track before. I said, okay.
That's try Jam Rum.
And he played a track, like, oh, snap. I said, that was them? And that was only just 4 songs. That was only just 4. And so when he says that, when you said that, I believe that. But see, that's what a lot of independent stars want to get like. Like, I really want to talk about T-Pain real quick. Not real quick, because T-Pain, he's in this conversation too as well, because now he got his record label, he been had for a while, Nappy Boy Records. If I said that wrong. I hope I ain't said that wrong. Yep. Is it right? Nappy Boy Records. And Nappy Boy Records. Because people diss T-Pain a whole hell of a lot because he used a voice box. But people don't understand, and Mayo and Beast, you already know, and then who else watched the show, y'all already know. You remember Roger Troutman, Zap, and Roger? He paid homage to him doing the voice box. And guess who else was used? I literally got into a spat with a friend of mine back in Virginia a long, long time ago, where he said there saying, oh my gosh, I'm gonna say his name. My boy Zach. He literally said,
No, I'm saying who was doing it before Roger?
Oh, that's a good question. I know who you're talking about. I can't think of the name. I see his face. I see his face in my eyes, but I know what you said.
Peter Frank. Peter Frank. Yeah. So when y'all talk about that, auto-tune is a hip hop thing. No, that actually started off as rock synthesizer. They turned into a pop synthesizer. It was off the Wall album.
Yeah,
it's like 2 or 3
tracks. Like I do.
That's one of them. It's a couple songs on there that they used it.
That one, and I wondered how you figured. Wow, 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 down, down, down. Yeah, I forgot about Peter Frampton. People don't give Peter Frampton a lot of credit for that. I didn't. I see his face in my eyes. Just couldn't figure out his name, but you helped me out. But T-Pain got a lot of flack for that, and my boy Zach literally was trying to argue with me, saying that Lil Wayne made it more famous. I was like, hold up, wait a minute.
What?
Yeah, man, he was saying, like, yes.
I'm not even hip hop. I know.
I wish I could see his face right now because I know y'all can see the confusion on mine.
This is one of the reasons why I do not like Lil Wayne, because I believe we give him too much of a pedestal of that being the greatest rapper alive. I don't think he was the greatest rapper alive. Is he in discussion?
You know what?
Yes.
He's only in the damn discussion because fucking Webster's gave him that credit for Bling Bling. So he's the first rapper to make up a word and have it nationally recognized and accepted into the fucking dictionary. So it's now part of the verbal lexicon. You can now get away with honestly writing down the words bling and bling bling. These are real words now.
Yeah, because even Birdman said that he wished he would have trademarked that saying. Because he said if he would have trademarked it, he would have been a billionaire by now, which is true. But going on to my point, I went back and forth with it because he saw Lil Wayne as being this God amongst men. This is the heyday of Lil Wayne. I'm still saying, no, man, you should be saying thank you, T-Pain, for getting Lil Wayne on it. Because now you got artists like Future, and majority of the younger age hip hop stars are using the voice spots.
The majority, damn near all of
everybody, are using it, including R&B stars. So T-Pain, he didn't create the door; he reopened it. If that makes sense. I mean, it was a
he did what Roger Troutman did, which is why Roger Troutman got the praise he did, because initially it was just a device. And you see Peter Frampton then did, okay, I'm gonna do it as actual sound effects, mid breaks in the song. Roger was like, nah, I wanna be your man. I wanna be your man. He shows you could do a whole song on it.
And then
T-Pain ain't do nothing but say, hey, you can still do a whole song on it and make you want to dance with it.
And one thing people do not understand about T-Pain, he also is one of the most underrated producers as well. He produced so many songs and nobody don't understand that. Even from your favorite artists, like with me with Missy Elliott. I didn't know Missy Elliott produced some, not even just bad, she was hits. But she learned that trait from Timberland. Timberland is still producing those hits too. And I say, y'all praise Missy, you praise Timberland. I'm biased, Virginia. But T-Pain, who came from Tallahassee, from the roughest of rough of Florida, to producing all these great hits that y'all probably didn't even know that he got credit for. Those royalty checks gonna come to him as long as them songs gonna keep playing. And he won awards for it. Yep. I mean, and then created Nappy Boy Records. So all that money goes to him. And then he helped the artists, because right now he's currently helping out artists down in Tallahassee. So I mean, go ahead, man.
I'm just saying, that he's actually doing something like that. I like when I hear people helping other artists out. I mean, he said he actually is.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was like that. And I don't follow hip hop.
Yeah. And David Banner, two of the front runners when it comes to like giving back to your home and giving back to your home state.
And the crazy thing about, I saw a little documentary on when T-Pain said that he fully cut ties from all like the big industry. He said, I'm just going to worry more about my record label more than, me just cutting these deals with all these big industry dudes. So he just basically just did what usually an independent record label would do. They would be like, "Hey, we owe everything else. We just need y'all to just just do distribution,
Just distribute.
just do a distribution. Yeah, just
I
distribute
need you
my
to pay
stuff."
postage. I need you to pay for the postage, for the shipping to
Right,
handle. That's all I need from y'all.
right, and
Got
that's
to
all
pay for
I
the
need.
boxes too if you want.
And and his mindset, even though I didn't understand it, but I understood it. And this is where I want Mayo come in because he's Mayo, you entrepreneurial.
Yes, sir.
How he was doing the interviews when the person was sitting there saying, "Well, you got this record label, you got this." He said, "Yeah, because it's all on my shoulders now. I don't have a big industry backing me." So he had that mindset of like, I could you lose this tomorrow.
What?
This one kid that I gave this contract to, I would have to give up his contract. Have to tell him like, man, I don't got enough money to do it. I mean, I was like, damn, why is he thinking that way? He's literally, I understand that this is your business. I mean, you got to deal with the expenses as much. You have to deal with the profits. You got to deal with all this stuff. Like, dude, like, calm down. I thought, but I was like, nowadays you have to. Even though his record label is profitable, but he's thinking every day, I could lose it tomorrow. I may not lose tomorrow. I may lose it the next day. Could you explain much further on the entrepreneurial way why you would think that tomorrow could be the last day, or something could happen and I'll make you go into debt?
It's just what it is. I mean, because if you put a lot of risk, I mean, in business, then it's a high reward most sometimes, and it's a high again risk. I mean, you put a lot of risk up there. Put a lot like just anything you're doing, you want to be as kind of careful as people say, but then again, the people who are the most careful are the ones that make the least. Most sometimes because the more risk you put out there, the more reward. So I mean, so that's where things come out to look like that, or to just where that can come into factor. In the sense of um, it's just what you get what you put in. You your own backbone. I mean, there's no
True.
folks that work for any agency got all this you work, you get benefits and all that stuff. You got to create all that for yourself as an entrepreneur, as a self-employed person. So you really know that you eat what you kill. That's pretty much the best way to put it. Like, you eat what you kill. So you want to go out hunting. You want to make sure when you go out hunting that you
I
do the
like
best.
that analogy.
That you ain't
Yeah,
out there, you ain't out there just slouching. There's no room to slouch.
that makes sense.
It's
So,
not.
which go ahead, Beach. I ain't meant to interrupt you.
I was agreeing with him. There's no room for slouching when it comes to being an
Yeah,
entrepreneur.
you on your own. I mean, like there's no. I mean, the only time that so you ever can get something, much thanks to Sister Anita. She talked about it. I know she listened. She talked about that loan. I got my loan money last week. So what I mean. So I got a prank on my.
Congratulations, sir.
Congrats.
And she was kind of pressing me on it. Every time I send her something on Instagram like that, I think we should be talking about on the show. She's like, "Have you applied yet?" I'm like, "Man, I don't think they're gonna give this money out." Because in my mindset has always been like, I'm on my own. So, but I applied and it came through. So outside that, when those situations happen, you have to have the mindset that you're on your own as a businessman. Because they really don't. Nobody, most people who are running this country don't want everybody to start their own business. They want you to be afraid to get on your own, so that you can always be eating out of their hand. So when you
Exactly.
it's a different vibe. What I look at when I see people who own their own business. There's that means that you out there you kill what you kill what you eat, man. And you know that you pull your own weight. I mean, like I said, there's no. I mean, it's kind of hard to go to the food stamp, man. I'm talking about I own some of the business. They could be, sometimes even just the person who's at the desk is probably hating on you. Like, how can you be out here? You own your own business. You got enough money to own your own business. So it's just hard to get people to want to help you out if they know you're self-employed. People don't really want to help you out most of the time. So it's a hard thing. You know what I mean? But it's just that mindset you got to have. Like you're a hustler for real. And a clean hustler, not one that is trying to get in trouble. Do some crazy stuff. But
Right.
that's what you are if you own your own business. So I really, I just have more respect for those guys who in the music industry follow in the footsteps of Sam Cooke. Sam got
Mm-hmm.
killed and he found out that they were stealing all his money. He was the first.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna stop. Letting this manage my stuff and taking all this things money from me. I'm gonna start doing myself. And the weekend he died, he got shot. Even though it was supposedly unrelated, he was going home to go to meet with his former manager, or the guy that was managing his stuff, to say, I want my stuff back. You know, I want my money.
Right.
Just like Prince.
Yeah. So I mean, I want my money. And I want my control of my stuff back. And that was back then. That was in the '60s.
No, it's still going on.
Yeah,
Prince is the same way. A lot of folk don't know that 2 weeks prior to his death, he was just awarded his entire collection and entire catalog from Warner Brothers. Yeah, he beat Warner Brothers. And then because it was such a big deal because it showed the world why he did what he did. When he put slave on his face, you saw it when you saw his actual discography. Because this man literally, like, for every one album he dropped in his career that we know of, he had like 3 more in between.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So he had like 4 or 5 albums between just Purple Rain.
I give it say Purple Rain.
Bridge.
And, Graffiti. And then also he did another movie, which I think I like it. Under a Cherry Moon.
You know what? My uncle put me onto that joint because he's a huge Prince fan, and I actually said the same thing to myself. Like, I actually like this one more than Purple Rain.
Mm-hmm. Under the Cherry Moon is crazy because it got his Tricky, who is Morris Day dude with the mirror.
Yeah, Jerome.
He made that movie for me. And also another fun fact about the movie, the mobster dad, he played in Rambo 2. He was the evil commando. I had to look. I'm like, hold up, that dude looked familiar.
Oh, he was.
Yep, he was the evil commando. That's when if everybody know Rambo 2 is when he went back to Vietnam, and he was on that electric thing, and it kept electrifying him and all that stuff. And old boy Jerome, there you go, Kara. Yeah, he got still electrocuted, and I saw his face. I was like, oh snap! I said, he's off with this Cherry Moon. I said, damn, he's just as evil as he was in that damn movie. He got Prince killed. Nobody. Yeah, he got Prince killed in this movie. He tried to kill Rambo. Well, unfortunately, Rambo got that ass later. but going back to because all it, and so for anybody who's watching, this all comes together in what Beast and his committee is doing to get rid of all these pitfalls, because you got these young artists, no matter if it's hip hop, no matter if it's country or wherever. It's just like kids trying to go into the NBA or NFL. They want to get drafted. They want to sign that contract, sign the dotted line. Now you're making this $1 million. I want to give mama that car she wanted. I want to give dad that house that he always wanted, or I want to get that bling bling. But they don't read the fine print or what they're signing themselves doing. Like in the military, what we say is, and it's a joke, but sometimes it's a joke. Hey, you just signed your life away because now you belong to Uncle Sam. Well, Uncle Sam say you go over there, you're gonna go to Iraq. Guess what? You're going to Iraq. Even when you come back, your ass going to Afghanistan. Guess what? You take your ass to Afghanistan. So I mean, I just got home, and that's why they have like a thing called dwell time, where you have time to stay in garrison, aka stay home. But
Cass was running and hiding, like, bro, I just got back.
Because you got people that deploy, and once they get back, now they on another set of orders. Now you got to deploy again. It's like, damn, I just got here.
I need some babose off here, bro. Let me take babose off.
And McCary, he can concur on here if he's still here. He can concur. He was in the military longer than me, and he was on the Marine side. He could tell you like, yeah, that happened. But going back, I kind of got a little bit off track. But they're not reading the contracts, or they get involved with the person that we just mentioned on this show, get involved with them because they're like, hey man, I can get you in, but it's gonna be at a price. And your committee, not even hopefully, I know it's going to do what it's going to do. It's going to stop all this and give the young stars the right platform, the right
It's
foundation to
doing more
step.
than that,
Yeah,
because we're not just looking at the youngins. We're looking at everybody. Because like just from my personal standpoint, I know of at least four of the four R&B singers. I know about just under a dozen musicians, actual live playing musicians that all frequent work just in Atlanta and Miami alone. That's just for that. I have a homeboy that was doing overseas tours. So he was singing over nation for many years. Most of us have seen or been exposed or shown, the world has shown us that your local sensibilities and things are flawed. Because if individuals in another state rock with me, that's cool. But if individuals in another state that also happens to be one of the markets and the hubs for said music, and they rock with me, that says a lot. If people in other countries that don't even speak English or on a completely different time frame actually set up their personal time frames to be able to view and listen to my music as a local Greensboro artist, that says a lot about my music. I got people in France that don't speak fucking English, but if I'm on live playing my bass, they will not only learn enough English to converse with me during the live, but share it multiple times over throughout their respective networks, tagging me in it later on. Y'all should check this guy out. I love him. Now I got people in Switzerland, in the Netherlands, in the UK asking me, hey, are there any artists here that you would like to work with? And my response is, shit, put me in the studio with.
and you know, and the crazy thing is that you mentioned that I know that pisses the industry off because they have to go to these territories. They have to go into areas like yours, Beast, to find these artists. But with your committee right there, now they have to go through y'all now, or you will prep them, groom them to
yes,
watch out
exactly.
for
Thank you. They just took the words that we're looking to, from first and foremost, we are establishing the market, a network within Greensboro, but a market within North Carolina for our music. We will act as the focal point, as central nerve to get everyone else in the state in line to show, hey, we all can network, and we pulled our networks together because that's how y'all got in the conversation. So won't you do the same? Because some of your networks are part of our networks. So it would just make it easy if you got in line.
Right. And you know what? Where can anybody who is want to know more about this committee or want to be a part of it, where can they find this? Do y'all have a website yet, or have a
And
page?
we do not currently have a page right now. After this discussion, I will definitely bring that to the table. Right now, we are focusing on the grass roots side of it. So we're actually establishing a stable club with proper promotion. We're working on the second open mic right now. It's already booked with a full performer list and the headliners. I think we're almost booked up for the one from next week as well.
Right.
And I'm personally setting up a show for next month to expand the committee and do the same thing we're doing in Greensboro and take it to rock.
Right. So before we go into our commercial break and into the segments, What progress have y'all already made so far?
Well, aside from having 2 successful openers, actually getting not only the artists to come in, but the local fans as well, and getting rave reviews from the fan side of it. They enjoy the show. They enjoy the atmosphere and the energy that we're bringing there. Because it's most of us are street niggas, and a good portion of us are certified gang members. So there's a lot of crisscross with colors at various moments throughout these endeavors, but it's all love. It's known before you even get on the property and come down the street. All that shit is not here. So if that's what you're looking for, that ain't what you're gonna find here. It's all love here, no matter what your color is, no matter what your set is, no matter how you throw your fingers up, my nigga. Still look like a heart to us because it's all love.
All right, got you. And with that, we're going to take a commercial break. And Beast, we're going to head up into your community and see what's going down. What you got on tap for us?
Well, look, honestly, I'm surprised when we still doing the segments with Teach not being able to attend, but still able to view and chime in. So I'm thankful she was still able to have her presence felt. But I wouldn't feel right. I wouldn't feel right doing a local segment and we can have a global perspective to balance. Honestly, because she's not here, I really don't want to.
All right, how about this?
I enjoy watching hers more than y'all enjoy watching me. So
I enjoy watching all three of y'all. To tell y'all the truth, because I be working on behind the scenes, but then also I sit back and I listen. I said they got their own segments. I said this is the idea that Teach came up with, so I understand. So we're gonna take a commercial break still, and then we're gonna come back with final thought. We'll be right back. Well, ladies and gentlemen, another great show. First of all, we'd like to thank Sky Zone Society for sponsoring this show and also sponsoring no commercials, period, in the show. So thank them so much. My final thought, I almost forgot because as of late, as y'all has been seeing, when I do a final thought, I like to do a tribute. And I had a tribute for George Clinton the last time. I actually didn't have anything set for today other than this. Y'all already know. That's going to be our new home. We're going to be on laptops. We're going to be on tablets. We're going to be on Amazon sticks. And we're going to be on your phone. So, yeah, we already did that. But I want to talk about this. Y'all just don't know how ready I am, as y'all can see. Look at that. You can see right through me. But I cannot wait from the Under Rehearsed podcast. The NFL season is fastly approaching. I don't think fastly is a word, but y'all know what I mean. Also, the college football is definitely coming fast approaching. I'm already talking to a couple of coaches, including Mr. Jones of Real Chatboy Popcorn, who's actually a football coach. We have been also talking about it. He also will be joining the cast. So the two gentlemen that you see on the show as well will be hosts of the show. We also going to get other sports enthusiasts and other shows to combine with us. I cannot wait to start this show, and I'm thinking sometime around the July time frame to start doing the show. So one thing I am going to tell y'all about Unrehearsed Podcast, we always going to have the shows on Saturday, maybe depending on the games, Saturday and Sunday. If we do have it on just one day, it will be on a Sunday, and we're going to do it before all the NFL games start to get you ready. We also going to be doing our own commentary on our games of the week or the games of the day. But also on the Unrehearsed Podcast, we're going to keep it real, going to keep it raw, but also we're going to keep it entertaining. Remember, Unrehearsed Podcast for the fans, by the fans. And with that, I yield the floor.
Support. It doesn't always have to be monetary. It could just be showing your face. Giving out some simple words of encouragement. Hell, it could even be just letting somebody else know or whatever needs to be supported. These things are free, they're easy, and they can move mountains when done correctly. That's all everyone really needs to do. So for those in the Greensboro, North Carolina area watching this show, please spread the word to support the local artist movement committee, to support Independent Artist Showcase, to support Bar Latina, to support any and every endeavor of independent local artistry. And show love. And if your passion and support leads to a purchase or a monetary contribution, then let the Lord's will be done. It's something as simple as, hey, you like this? Well, you should check this out. It means a lot to an independent artist such as myself. We can often be the inciting catalyst to spark that great change for not only that person, but for that artist as well. So never be scared to support and never feel as though your level of support is insignificant or insufficient. The fact that you support and make a physical effort to consciously do some kind of support, known and unbeknownst to the supportee, you've done more than they could ever truly ask. With that, I yield the floor. I hope everyone enjoyed the show.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was on mute for a second, but yeah, definitely. My final thought is that it's a lot going on around the world. We're halfway through 2021, and it's the idea is just let's keep building. Let's keep building. Let's be careful. One thing we've not talked about is the COVID. Everybody's things are lifted. I believe that we're still going to have another high spike of this thing, and whatever it is, going on. I believe that it's going to be off our minds in a year and a half. So, folks, just hold on tight. Keep trying to do as good as you can. Don't let that be a distraction from you being able to do all you need to do to make things happen. Keep trying to build. Keep trying to produce. Keep trying to be positive. Those are important things to do in life. Being positive. Don't burn bridges and try to build bridges. So that's all I can leave for y'all. And I hope everybody has a good night.
Mayor always ending on a great note. Before we close out, McCary wants to join the cast. If
Yes,
Gary,
sir.
we gonna talk more on that. I would love to have you on the show. I mean, like they say, more the merrier. And I cannot wait to start this. You can tell them every time I'm gonna bring it up.
I want to see who gonna be sharp. I guess I got to be Shannon. I already smoke and I drink, so I'm gonna be Shannon. But who gonna be Stephen A? Can we find a respectful way to be Stephen A?
I don't want to be Stephen. Look, I'd rather be Skip Bayless or freaking Max Kellerman.
But did you hear what I said though? Can we find can we be a respectful version of? I ain't trying to go that far.
Look, I be Rich Eisen. I'll be Rich Eisen. I'll be Rich Eisen.
Yeah.
I probably might do like a 4-yard dash just to raise some for a charity or something. I probably like half the money would go to a veteran home, and the other half I'd be like, Mayo, what foundation you support? The other half is going to that.
Something else.
I'll be Rich Eisen. I mean, because
all right, well, I'm gonna stick with Shannon, dude.
Mm-hmm. So
on the sports show, I can't wait too.
I think Mayo probably gonna be what's his face? He who's the dude that used to do the Monday Night Footballs with Chris Boomer?
Oh, Boomer. Yeah,
I can see Mayo being more like a smooth, calm Charles Barkley.
Oh, there you go. I do like Charles. I like Brother Charles. I like that.
Yeah, like I said, some of the things I don't like come out of his mouth, but you I mean,
that's what I'm saying, a
Charles
smooth,
Barkley.
calm version of it.
Yeah, you shoot. If that's how we're going to stack it, then somebody got well, Shaq's going to be beast. Me, I probably either be Kenny or I've got the other white dude that's there. I've got his damn name for the NBA. What's his name? I could be him. I play good as the host, putting out stats and asking questions. But
I'm here for color commentary, baby.
But the only difference is I'm also gonna put my input too as well. So, but other than that, we're gonna give you more information on this show. But as for Ernie, there you go, Ernie Johnson. Yeah, I could be Ernie Johnson. I'd be the Ernie Johnson of the show. I mean, Ernie Johnson got swag. He got swag. Give the man some props. He got some swag. But other than that, as for Beast Johnson, Mayo, and me as your Christian Hotel, Multi-Morse, thank y'all for tuning in to a Monday edition of Fade to Black. Don't forget to support Beast Grill. I'm going to have that stroll at the bottom. Let me do it one more time before we head on out. If I can find it. Here we go. Support the movement or create your own. If you have these same issues for your local artists, or even if it's a whole different industry, stand up, make your committee, and tell them we ain't going to take it no more. But that, we're outro. Catch y'all later. Makara, I will get with you. We're going to talk to you more. I already created a group, so I'm going to have a message board and I include all of us. It's probably going to be tomorrow. But other than that, we outro. Catch y'all later. See y'all Wednesday. Bye.
All right, brothers. Y'all. Good night.
Yeah.